Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Howdy y'all, Red O'Loughlin here. We're on the Wise Ones on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. This is the middle of 3 programs I do every Thursday, back to back to back. We just finished a show called The Corner Bookstore. We now are doing the Wise Ones, and at the end of the show I have another one coming up called Talking Heads. The TV hosting job that I have is utterly remarkable. I'm super happy to do it. A lot of reasons, but when I'm not doing the TV hosting job, I love to research the human body at the cellular level, chemically speaking. I look for cause and effect relationships. Treat a cause, fix a problem. Treat symptoms, and you'll always be treating symptoms. And the cause could get worse. But I try to focus on longevity and age-related issues. That's where my primary focus is. That's what I write about. That's what I speak about. And today I'm talking about how to live 10 years slower. So in other words, you're healthier as you get toward the end of your life. And that's my show on Talking Heads. I think that's enough about me for right now. So why don't we jump into my guest today, Joslyn Martinez. She's the CEO of Balanced Financial Solutions, and a marvelous lady in so many ways. So Joslyn, please join me up here on stage. Howdy.
Hi.
What part of the country are you from?
I am from the United States.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, but are you in the Northeast, Canada? I mean, where are you at?
I'm located in Massachusetts.
Okay, just to get people, because you're going to be talking about a lot of things today, and if people wanted to get in touch with you and you're in Arizona, it might make it a little bit more. So anyway, so the focus is you're in the Northeast, and that's just kind of a tie into everything. Okay, Balanced Financial Solutions. You started that company how long ago?
I've been doing Balanced Financial Solutions for about 9 years now. I first started out in corporate accounting, and so I've been doing accounting in general for about almost 28 years now.
Oh, wow. What intrigued you about accounting?
What was that?
What was the intrigue that captured your heart and your soul about accounting?
Okay, so it's way back when I was in high school. I started taking basic accounting classes, and I realized that I really had a love for numbers. My first career choice way back when was to be a teacher. And then I decided accounting was my passion. I love it. I went through school with it. I started having children very early on, and I realized that it was a lucrative career to be able to support my family, but I've been doing it for a very long time. And a little quick tidbit, I actually teach now at the college that I graduated from, and I teach accounting of all things.
Oh, wow. I, like you, developed my passion back in high school, sophomore year. I took a chemistry class. I fell in love with it. That was my first degree. And I have that in my heart. It's what I use almost on a daily basis to do my research. But anyway, finance, I mean, numbers. There are all sorts of numbers, and they mean different things to cosmologists, astrophysicists, to scientists, to chemists, to whatever. But in accounting, they have their own different sets of rules. I remember taking that in one of my college classes way back when. And I got confused because of the balance sheet and all that. Did you ever get confused with the numbers, or it just naturally came into your brain? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Joslyn, you're muted. Can you unmute?
I was never afraid of it. Accounting is its own language. Yep. You hear me now, right?
I can hear you now. Yes, I hear you now.
I had never been afraid of it. I was always wanted to, and I understood it right away. Um, I learned as I went to college that a lot of people have like a love-hate relationship with accounting. It's either you love it or you hate it. People are just completely confused as far as what is a credit, what is a debit. But I got it right away. It wasn't something that was difficult for me.
Well, when I retired from my corporate career and I was trying to do my own self-improvement and figure out what I want to do prior to retirement, one of the guys that was working actively in that group with us at that time with my mentor was also an accountant, but he was a small business accountant. He only dealt with small businesses, primarily multi-level marketing, network marketing kinds of things. That was his skill. And he and another guy, I think, had maybe 1,200, 1,500 clients at their accounting deals. And I remember sitting there at lunch one day, and our mentor was saying, "Hey, Steve, why don't you just take the top 300 clients that you have, give the rest to your partner, and you just focus on them. That's all you do. You give them, charge them $1,000 a year or whatever it is, and you're their personal accountant. That's all you do." And he did, and he ended up getting a divorce, moving to Australia, marrying a girl down there. So anyway, he's my accountant. I've been using him now for well over a dozen years, but now I think he's up over 500, 600 clients of his own. But every month I send him a check. So he's getting a constant flow of money every single month. And then if I need something, literally he responds within 24 hours, even though he's in the continent in a different time zone. But I'm thinking to myself, that's kind of a neat way of doing a business. You have a finite number, you get money coming in every month regardless. And I'm thinking, wow, that's kind of a really great way to run a business. So you're have an expertise, a skill, a talent in accounting, and then all of a sudden you decided you wanted to become an entrepreneur. That's an interesting switch. Rather than working for someone else, what caused that switch to turn on to say, "Hey, I'm really now interested in running my own show"?
So I started, like I said, I started out in corporate accounting. I absolutely loved it. It was actually private accounting. And I absolutely loved it. So I went to, I stayed with them for almost 20 years and started my career with them, got my education with them. I absolutely loved the small business field. So, like any business, they were very successful to the point where the owner decided to sell the company and become a corporate company. Um, in that, I turned into public accounting, and while the experience was entirely different, it really wasn't what I wanted to do. I love the small business feel. I love being able to have a hand in what I'm doing. And I love being able to be one-on-one with the owner where I can see what they need, what they want, what they don't understand, help them grow. So I was like, I really should go on my own with this. I really want to be my own boss. I really want to be and have that emphasis on small business owners. And that's where I made the switch and decided I'm going to leave corporate accounting behind and focus more on small business owners.
Okay, so now you have this dream and you're starting to do it. And like any new business, there's a lot of things that come with it. We understand, like as a writer, as an author, I understand the writing. Marketing, I know about, but I don't know it well. So I'm sure that there was probably some interesting lessons learned as you started cranking up your business. Obviously, sometimes you can run things right out of your house. Sometimes things grow faster than you want, or sometimes they tumble down, like with COVID and whatever. Tell us about the beginning of Balanced Financial Solutions and what you learned.
right at the beginning, I learned that owning a business is difficult. And I also learned something I actually really already knew, but it really drove it home when I had my own business. Um, you really need to know your numbers. You really need to understand how they operate, what you're spending your money on, what do you actually make. That was very key at the very beginning of my journey towards entrepreneurship. I definitely needed to understand what I was making, what I'm spending, things of that nature. My business was always virtual. That was one thing that I always wanted it to be so that I can have my business wherever I go. So the pandemic piece of it, where people were just coming home and things of that nature, I had already been home, and that's really where I had already done my work. So I grew that trust with my clients very early on in a different way, where they didn't need to come to my office or I didn't need to go to them. This is exactly where I had started my business. So that was the journey early on.
Okay, so how did you select your first office?
I actually worked from home the whole time.
Oh, wow.
The whole time from the very beginning, I've always worked from home.
Okay. So you're not involved in hiring and firing and whatever else. You're just like an independent.
I don't do hiring and firing. I do more of letting go of contractors and hiring contractors and things of that nature. But I don't do that.
Okay, I understand. Uh, you are big into empowerment and confidence and entrepreneurship. Uh, as we grow personally, we personal development, personal growth. Uh, I remember working for a company for years. All the training I ever got was how to improve the company in whatever job I had. Never how to improve me until I went to work in a network marketing group. And all of a sudden, I was invited to an 8-hour training session on a weekend. And I was introduced to personal growth, self improvement. And whoa, why didn't they tell me this years ago? Uh, so, what was your journey for self improvement as being a business owner?
I love that question because being a business owner is separate from my expertise is, which is accounting. Um, I have read many books. As you can see, I have a whole lot of books here. My self growth is always learning, never stop learning. I'm very big on education. I continually read, expand my knowledge. Um, I also take classes. Like I said before, I teach at a college, so I'm always on the up and up of what's being offered. That's how I grew my business aspect side of it, how to be an entrepreneur and how to move forward in that. That's how I learned early on and I never stopped learning. Even now, my business just turned 9 years. I will never stop.
You have a particular author that you follow that you like to learn from?
I don't think so. I think they change every now and then depending on which ones come out. There's a whole. It's difficult as a business owner to find time to do other things other than running a business, and you have to be careful that you don't run that hamster wheel. So I'm constantly learning from different people. Podcasts are a really big thing now, and learning from different podcasters is really great too.
Do you do pleasure reading?
What was that?
Do you read for pleasure?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
so it's not all business.
Yes, not just because I read for pleasure. It's an enjoyment. I'm a nerd at heart. I love to read. Read and write is a very big thing for me.
Okay, the uh, tax laws change every year. How do you keep up with that?
I work very closely with CPAs and tax accountants. They are like my right-hand people, as I am for them. So that's how we keep each other on top of tax laws. I'm working behind the scenes on financial books, making sure those books are up to date, making sure we're following tax codes. And then the tax accountant or the CPA is working on making sure that I am aware of the rules and the laws that are constantly changing as tax laws always do. So we work together very closely to make sure we stay on top of those.
What is a common mistake most new business owners make?
Ignoring the numbers. That's the biggest mistake they make. Like it's one of those things. It's like if it's going in the bank, then we're good. That is not the way to run the business. As long as they have money in the bank, they feel like, okay, so their business is doing well. That is not the way to, that's the biggest mistake.
So they think it's a legitimate expense, but they have to spend money to have that expense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
Do you use AI at all in what you do?
that's an interesting question. AI is very helpful in putting together what I write out there, as far as giving advice, as far as keeping track of things and things of that nature. AI can't replace what I know. It can't replace what I can see. So, which is that story that's coming together in your business. AI can't do that for you.
AI can be predictive for some things, right? And so if you're using it as a tool, just like a spell checker, if you're using it at the right way, but most people don't know how to write the prompts to get the answer that they need. When I talk to AI, I tell it, okay, AI, you are, the leading authority on cost accounting in the United States, particularly in the state of Massachusetts. So you set the tone at the beginning. And so if the better you can define the problem, I find I use it a lot for research, a lot. I mean, I'm on it all the time. And I have a conversation with my AI daily. And the other night I'm sitting there thinking, the weather's getting ready to change. Let me talk to him about AI, about weather. And so we got on this and I said, well, anyway, I find it almost like another business partner. I really do. I use it a lot. So empowerment. Do you work with your clients to get them not only a good accounting base for their business, but to empower them in their own business acumen?
Yeah. So my whole focus on empowerment is to grow that confidence within them so they feel empowered to make decisions. So I'm not sitting in that bank or that boardroom for you. So my job is to make you feel confident enough so you're empowered enough to make those decisions for your business. To help you understand that story makes you feel empowered that you're making these decisions and you're just not making them on the fly. You truly understand what is best for your business and the moves that you need to make going forward.
So you give them a postcard every day that says, what would Jocelyn do? You give them a postcard every day saying, what would Jocelyn do?
I'm the little, person on the shoulder, whispering in their ear. Yeah, that's me.
Jocelyn, we're going to get ready for a break here in just a very quick moment. And when we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about empowerment, but more about confidence. So that's the direction I want to go in next. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and take a break and we'll be back very, very shortly.
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? In a world quick to judge, one book dares to reveal the hidden cost of silence. Discover Holy but Harmful, The Silent Sin of Judgment, How Hidden Judgments Destroy Relationships and Damage Lives by Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. The Amazon #1 bestseller that's transforming the way we understand ourselves and the way we see others. Pick up the companion workbook to uncover your own hidden judgments and learn how to break free from them. Available now on Amazon and at fine bookstores worldwide.
Every woman carries a story of strength, of purpose, of light. Through her courage, the world is transformed. Through her grace, generations are inspired. This is Iconic Women. Within every woman lives a goddess, a celebration of brilliance, beauty, and empowerment. Join us every Wednesday at 11 a.m. New York, 4 p.m. London time. Only here on USA, Global TVR, and radio. Featuring the iconic Dr. Joselyn Martinez, honoring voices that shine across the world. Subscribe to our YouTube channels, USA Global TV and Dr. Joselyn Martinez, to watch and engage with all our content. World-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. In a noisy world, true connection begins with listening. Elevated listening transforms every conversation in just 5 simple steps. Pause and breathe. Set your intention. Listen with curiosity. Reflect back. Agree on one next step. Join the Listening Mentor on Let's Finally Talk with Dr. Joselyn Martinez, the Listening Mentor, where we help you find inner peace, one conversation at a time. Streaming every day, Let's Finally Talk TV show with Dr. Joselyn Martinez, only here on USA, Global TV and radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channels to watch and engage with all our content.
Howdy. Red Laughlin here. We're on the Wise Ones on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. And we're talking with Joslyn Martinez. She's the CEO of Balance Financial Solutions. Finance accounting is something she fell in love with many, many years ago, formed her own company, and we're in the world right now of what can you do as a business owner to empower yourself, to have more confidence, to make better decisions. And Joslyn, if she's not back yet, okay, let's go ahead and continue. The biggest problem that I see in the world of finance and accounting is financial literacy. We don't know what we don't know, number one. Number two is that literacy, where do you go find it at? You know, back when I was going to high school, you know, we had classes on how to do this, how to balance a checkbook. I don't think there's anything like that anymore. I'm not even sure, but I know my kids never had anything like that. Of course, checkbooks pretty much just don't exist anymore. Everything's done electronically on your screen, but the process is the same. There is a certain understanding, literacy of it, and just like anything else with health and wellness or chemistry, or there's an awareness, there's an education, and then there's an application of actually doing things. So from this perspective, Joslyn was telling us earlier that her heart and soul is in the field of numbers. She's not scared of them. She fell in love with them, and she loves to work with them, and she loves to help other people. So from a financial literacy perspective, okay, I understand what the numbers are, what they mean, how I can use them. Now the next part that comes up is, how do I actually run a business? It's nice working for someone else. They have all the responsibility, but it's not always something that connects well. So that is a tough road. I mean, I worked for people for years, military, corporate world, and all of a sudden I started my own business and absolutely did not understand 90%. I understand my part very well, but there were other parts that I did not understand. Okay, Joslyn, please join me up here on stage. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, we talked briefly, and while you were gone, I was talking about financial literacy. How do we develop that? How do we get to a point where we're comfortable with numbers? But you have to have that comfort level of what you're dealing with and understanding before you can get to that confidence level in your business. I mean, just knowing that I have money coming in, I got to pay that bill and this bill. And whether you're just a homeowner and you're paying bills, or whether you're a business owner and you're paying bills, there's different levels of confidence. What's been your experience?
My experience has been people have different levels of understanding of finances, especially on the business aspect of it. And my experience has been that most people will just, what they don't understand, they will just shy away from. They won't even deal with it. They'll just be like, okay, so I don't understand it. I'm not going to go down that road. So my job then becomes to help you understand and not to just say that you are producing an income. Well, what is an income? This is your gross margin. Well, what is gross margin? What is your revenue? What are your costs? What is truly does it cost to run your business? When we put the numbers with an understanding of the words, that's when it becomes a lot easier to run a business and to truly understand how things are happening behind the scenes financially for you.
But when things happen financially for you, let's say you're making $100,000 a year, just to pick a number, and you want to grow your business to 200,000 or 300,000, that's a super big jump. And what worked at 100,000 doesn't necessarily work in the transition, and it may not even work at the 2x or 3x version of your company. Mm-hmm. What advice do you give people when they want to transition and grow their businesses?
Usually we would sit down and take a look and truly understand what is making that 100,000. And what are you going to make? What are you going to provide as a product or a service to make that 200 or the 300,000? And then you need to understand what it takes to make that 100,000. What are the costs to make that? And actually understand, will it cost more to make that 200 and 300? What will it cost to make those things? And you're talking about 200, 300. So are we talking more cost, more employees, a bigger office space? What are we talking about? Truly understanding what it costs to make that 100, understanding what it's going to cost to increase it, and how are we going to increase it?
Okay. Conversely, you also have a situation like COVID happened. I'm sure you've had some clients that were in business and are no longer in business because they were not prepared for the opposite direction. Mm-hmm. What safety factors or clues or hints can you say, client number one, you really need to be aware of this because things can change, and that's going to be a leading indicator?
Usually looking at the numbers, you can really tell what can happen if something does happen. So if, for example, if you're truly relying on 1 or 2 clients to be the bulk of the income that comes into that company, that's a safety feature that you really need to take a look at, because like COVID, what if that 1 or 2 client goes out of business? Then that means you're out of business. How quickly can you pivot your business? We analyze these numbers so that we're understanding them, both myself and the business owner. Same thing for cost. If you're spending an exorbitant amount of money on employees, but you're not getting that return, it's not enough just to have employees. I know a lot of businesses like that feel like now I have employees, but that's a big expense that you need to make sure that you can handle in your business.
A lot of times we as business owners don't want to let go of something. We hang on to it when we should be contracting out accounting services or virtual assistants or marketing, whatever it may happen to be. Where is that indicator that says you're spending too much time on this, your return on your investment isn't there? Where do you tell people, what advice do you give people to say, let's sit down and seriously analyze what this is really meaning to you, and can you afford to have somebody else do it?
This is a good question, because I just had a client that came to me and she was wearing too many hats. She was bringing in a lot of revenue, but a lot of the work she was doing herself. And so that wasn't allowing her to run her business. She was, it was running her. So therefore, we took a look at her expenses and we took a look at what she can actually let go. I allowed her to see that she is unable to grow the business, provide more services without being a key person. She just didn't have that time. She needed to find areas in which no one can replace her. However, she can subcontract out or have an employee do a piece of what she can do, so that way there she can grow.
Planning is something that we sometimes get mired in because of the day-to-day things that happen, the ups and downs. But 2026 is around the corner coming up. We should have our plans laid out, what's going on quarterly, whatever those goals are that we have. How do you help people with their planning?
I usually help them either budgeting and cash forecasting. We kind of sit together and say, okay, we're pretty much almost at the end of the year. We're set solid on what's happening this year. Where do we want to go? So we sit down and we talk about dreams and goals and discuss, are we growing in our business? How are we growing it? And what do we need to sustain that growth? That's usually how I help them plan out their 2026. We first start with where their goals and dreams are and just kind of break it down from there, because I mean, a lot of people have dreams and goals that are out there, and not that you shouldn't have those, because those are driving factors in why you have your business, but you have to, chop them down to bite-sized pieces in order for you to get there. And that's what we do. We take the sales and break it down. How are we going to make this happen? We all break it down to all numbers.
Growth is an interesting word because you mentioned it more than a couple times, that whole thing, because you have the business growth, but you also have the personal growth. And you've been through that yourself, as you're seeing. You need the personal growth and the business growth to be aligned to some level. How do you help your clients with their personal growth?
We usually, if we're sitting in conversations, I can tell where they're kind of lacking, and I'd be like, well, it'd be good for you to kind of take a course or take a training and just go out there and learn about those things, because it's going to make you a better business owner. It's just not, with me, it's not just about the finances, it's about the whole picture. So if we're looking at the numbers and you want to grow and do something else in your business and offer another product or another service. Okay, so what are you doing so that you could learn to become better in those areas? So we discuss those as well.
Learning is one of those areas that can be expensive, but with YouTube, I find learning is an absolute pleasure. I am on YouTube all the time learning something about, okay, here's a particular function in the human. I need to understand that better. And so I'll watch 4, 5, 6, 8 or more videos from different people to get a good understanding, so that I have some level of confidence we talked about earlier, that if I'm going to be talking about something, I need to be able to have some credibility in talking about it. If I'm just aware of it, it's not the same thing as I've been educated in it, or I've written 4 books on that topic. There's a certain level that goes in there, but that learning nowadays is time dependent. We don't spend our time wisely in many cases, but then we go down a rabbit hole with some other social media thing that, okay, I'm only going to be on here for 5 minutes, and 35 minutes later, you're still going down that same rabbit hole. I'm sure you have clients that work that way. So how do you help them with their time management?
We definitely, if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't get done. So that's my biggest thing. I'm very adamant with my clients. So I provide videos of their finance, their financials. I'm speaking through that video. I'm telling you exactly what you need to look at, and I'm asking you questions. I want those answers back. So if it's not on the calendar, it's not scheduled. I definitely stay on top of my clients and say, schedule it on you. I mean, I understand that you're not going to be able to view that video or view that report the minute I give it to you. But that's the reason why I sent it to you, so that you could view it when you have the time, but schedule it out. I also do that with my clients who, I tell them go hire a VA, so that they can do the things, that the administrative stuff, and you can focus on putting it on your calendar to look at your finances, to provide whatever it is I need so that I can do the work for you, things of that nature.
Okay, with time management, if you're operating your own business out of your own home, that becomes a dilemma in itself, because there's always things that are going on.
Yeah, I agree. Well, someone who's been doing it for 9 years, I definitely know a thing or two about being home and having distractions, children, animals, your partner that decides that if you're home, you are available. So that I definitely advise my clients to have work hours. Put those work hours out there. Make sure your clients know when their work hours, so that way you're responsible and you're held accountable to that time frame, and everyone else knows.
Well, Jocelyn, I think you and I are very much in agreement. If it's not written down, it will not happen.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And many times when it's written down, it still doesn't happen.
Yes, exactly.
And then all of a sudden, now I have a month's worth of to-do lists that are aging. And what was important on the first of the month, by the 20th, it no longer has any. It's not even a low priority. It's just, well, that was kind of a nice wish back then. So there's
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I have a project manager that keeps me on task. She's always on top of me.
so life gets in the way, and it's, as I talk about a lot on my shows, awareness, then education. So, as we grow personally, we develop the confidence that we need. We empower ourselves to go further, to learn more, to know when, okay, let's pay somebody to do that. I mean, I can't tell you last time I changed the brakes on my car. I just don't do that anymore. I pay somebody to do that. I had a gallbladder operation 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. My wife hired a yard man. I don't do yard work of that kind. I still do yard work, but I don't mow and edge and trim and sweep and all the rest of that stuff. But there has to be times you say, no mas, that's okay. I have to do what I have to do. So, and I think you've highlighted it very, very nicely in a very professional manner. So how do people get your services? Do you have anything coming up in the future that you want to tell people about?
Absolutely. You can reach me and find my business on my website, which is www.balancefinancial.solutions. You can also find me on Instagram at balance_financial. It's the quickest ways to get to me. I actually have a couple of courses coming out. I would love people to kind of come and check them out. They are on my website. It's a course that, kind of sets new business owners in the right direction. It's very basic bookkeeping, but it sets them in the right direction. So if you can't afford someone like me, it'll get you started in the right direction so that you can feel confident on your own. In any case, as you get started in your business at the first few years, that's coming up soon.
How many courses have you taught, Jocelyn?
I've launched 2.
Okay.
I've launched 2. I definitely am getting my toes into that realm instead of, as you said so nicely earlier, we can't do it all. So, yeah.
Okay. Let me make sure I get this right. Balancefinancial.solutions. Is that correct?
Got it. Yep.
Okay. So for our audio audience, they'll pick this up later on. Balance, BALANCE, standard way it's spelled. Financial, FINANCIAL, dot solutions, plural. So balancefinancial.solutions, kind of an interesting website name there, and also the name of the business. So, Jocelyn, I appreciate your time today. As always, I learn from all of my guests, and I appreciate you filling us in. And I'm always in the awareness and education mode all the time, all day long. So, thank you so very, very much, and I look forward to bumping into you down the road. 2026, I'm sure we'll see each other again.
Thank you so much, Brad. This is very exciting, and I definitely enjoyed my time here.
Take care. Bye now. Okay, we're concluding the Wise Ones here on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. My guest today was Joslyn Martinez. She's CEO of Balance Financial Solutions, and she has some educational programs coming up. So please visit her website and see if that's something that would be of value to you. Very shortly, in about 23 minutes, my show comes up called Talking Heads. It'll be the last one I'm doing today. I 3 of them back to back to back. And I'm talking about how to age 10 years slower. In other words, if you're aging, can we slow down that aging process a little bit? I think there's a lot of ways of doing that. Sometimes things work because of this. Sometimes they don't work because of that. But anyway, so I'm looking at how do you master metabolic efficiency for the real basis of what we're talking about, because my focus is primarily on the mitochondria in the body, because that's, if you keep them happy, you're going to be happy the rest of your life. So that's what my focus is today. We're going to talk about various options you have to slow the aging process in your body. And I truly look forward to talking with y'all. And if you can't catch it this week, we'll catch you next week. Take care now. Bye, y'all.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Steve Klein Art at steveklein.art.
My name is Steve Klein, born Manchester, England, 1953. My quest in my lifetime is to create artwork from my soul and the deepness within my wildest dreams and fantasies. In 2012, my heart stopped when I was given too much anesthetic for a minor knee operation, and this near-death experience took me to another multi-dimensional world, an out-of-body experience, and I was given the gift of being blessed by an overwhelming, burning passion to become, for the very first time in my life, an artist with an eternal, passionate desire to bring my art, which I've named multi-dimensional, subliminal, freeform art, to the world, as only 3% recover from what I experienced, and now in my golden years want to release my cosmic, vital energy through my art to allow people to be a part of my cosmic dance.
To learn more, email roccogoodwine@gmail.com. For VIP pricing, mention USA Global TV and Radio.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Joselyn Martinez. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.